Hey everybody, Mike Day here. Now this video is going to be all about how to paint your concrete. So if you're looking to paint a pool deck like this, a patio, an entryway, a set of stairs, or a walkway, you found the right video. We get hired to paint a lot of concrete, resurface it, make it look like new again, and that's what this paint is going to do. Now I found a brand new paint, so I'm going to tell you all about it. So stick around. So we get hired to paint a lot of concrete and resurface it and make it look good again. I mean, we've done some jobs that look really, really bad and turned them into looking just like brand new again. But the key is really knowing, like, what do you use for paint? What can you put on something like this that's outside that's going to last, and just not peel off and not flake off in a month. So that's the real key. And we found the right paint. This stuff's a fairly new product, but it bonds really, really well. It's just, you just don't know where to get it though. So I'm going to tell you at the end of the video where to get it. Now this is the stuff we're using, Mapai Mape Coat Deck T. And what it is, it's a high build, it's a textured acrylic deck coating. So it has a little bit of texture built right in it already, which helps make it slip resistant. And you can buy it, in a 5-gallon bucket. We usually put on 2 coats when we do this stuff. But the key is really knowing how to prep the concrete for this stuff. And most of the time, all you really have to do is pressure wash, unless you got some concrete repair to do. Now you can see this pool deck was in really, really bad shape as far as being dirty. So we had to actually use a scrub brush with it. But that's the basic prep right there. Pressure washing it, getting rid of all the dirt, the mold, and the mildew, getting it clean, and then letting it dry out. And then, you can put 2 coats of this paint on and your deck is going to look just like brand new again. Sometimes some of you guys might have some repair to do. It's pretty typical for an outside patio that's got any amount of age to it to have some repair, whether it's salt damage or just, years and years of abuse. And the repairing is a whole nother technique. If you guys want to learn how to repair concrete, I'll have a link for that down in the description. You can just check out the Concrete Underground, and I show people how to repair concrete in there. But that's usually part of the process, knowing what to use to repair concrete, and just what will work if you're going to paint your patio, so you can hide the cracks, hide the spalling and the pock marks, or if you've got any little holes or anything like that. It's just a little bit of a process, but it's really not that hard to do. And then once you know how to do it and you know how to blend it in, then you can paint right over it and pretty much just hide it. So that's what we're doing here on this pool deck. This pool deck had a little bit of crack repair to do. So we just mixed up the repair product, put it in the crack, kind of feathered it in, and then we take a little rubbing stone, we kind of rubbing stone it smooth, and then we'll vacuum or take a leaf blower to it and clean it up again. This was another pool deck we're doing with sanding it and lightly grinding it to clean it. This one had a little bit of crack repair too. We did the same thing to it. And then, we just smoothed them out. And then, once it's clean and dry, then you're ready to go. Now, it's not to say that, concrete does move, especially if you live in a freeze and thaw area like we do. It may tend to move a little bit in the winter. It's not to say those cracks might not reappear. And you may have to just touch them up again, but for resurfacing an old looking, worn looking, really crappy looking concrete, this paint is going to work really, really good. This pool deck had a lot of ice and ice melt damage to it, so we had to repair a lot of that. That's basically what the paint looks like in the bucket. We always take a drill mixer and just get it mixed up really good, and then we can put it in our paint trays and just go to town. We like using 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch nap rollers with this stuff. It just seems to hold more paint in the roller, makes it go on a little bit faster. And then for us, what we do, when we're doing it for a job, is usually one guy will cut in edges, sometimes 2 guys cutting in edges if we're all there, and then one guy with an 18-inch roller, and then we just roll right over. And this particular acrylic deck coating paint, it dries really quick. So if you're doing a fairly good size area, you know, by the time you get from one end to the other, if it's 20 or 30 minutes, a lot of times you can come right back over it and just put on your second coat. Now we like to apply the first coat at about 100 square feet a gallon, so it actually goes on quite thick. And like I said, it's got texture built right into it. And then the second coat goes on pretty easy. That'll go on at about usually 150 to 200 square feet a gallon, and it covers really, really good. So it makes a really nice, even looking coating. And it comes in just about any color you want. You know, when you'll see at the end of the video, I got the place where you can order it from. You know, you call these guys up, you give them a color, whether you go to Sherwin-Williams and you just pick out a color, and then you give these guys that color swath, and then they can pre-mix it, ship it right to you, and it comes in that color. So that's what we do anyway. You can see this place here was in pretty rough shape. You know, it was a set of stairs, a wheelchair ramp, a little sidewalk to it. We went in, we prepped it all, cleaned up any of the patching, put 2 coats of this concrete paint on it, and it came out mint, came out looking like a brand new entryway. This was another job we did, had some repair to it, obviously. You know, we did our repairs, cleaned it all up, went over it with a nice light gray coating, and it made those stairs look like new again. So we've done multiple patios and pool decks with this stuff. This stuff had a coating on it already. We pressure washed it, we ground it, put a nice coat of light gray on it, and it made that pool deck look just like new again. It's just a matter of, you know, what do you have for concrete there already? If your concrete is already in pretty good shape and all you have to do is pressure wash it, then this is going to be a pretty easy product to use. It's pretty DIY friendly for sure. I mean, there's really not anything you have to worry about as far as pot life. You just dump it in your paint tray and just keep working steady. If you got to stop for a minute, that's fine. You know, just put it in the shade. You should be good. And then just keep working. But, you know, for us, when we show up, we typically don't like the people to be down more than a day. So we'll like to show up. We'll try to do everything in a day if we can. And if there's a lot of prep and repair, it might take 2 days. But the coating itself, like going around a pool like this twice, 2 people could probably do it in about, I'd say about 3 hours. You could probably get 2 coats on this. This is what this looked like before. You can see it was in pretty rough shape. It was actually raining a little bit that day. And then afterwards, I mean, it basically, you can't tell how old that is. It looks like brand new afterwards. That was about 30 years old, that concrete. So it was really, really worn looking. Here's a job we did. This entryway was in real bad shape. That stuff was flaking off. So I went in there and I chipped it all off. I ground that concrete nice and smooth. And then I put 2 coats of this concrete paint on it. You can see what it looked like. It just made that entryway look 10 times better. And we've done, I don't know how many projects like this. We've done multiple projects. And a lot of them up here in Maine, they're pool decks. So they sit outside. They sit outside all year long, you know, through heavy winters. And we really haven't had much trouble with any peeling or flaking or touch-ups. You know, we haven't really had any callbacks. So this stuff bonds to the concrete really, really well. As long as you do your prep right, you know, and you take your time putting it on, I don't think you're really going to have much trouble with it bonding to your concrete. You can see the difference. This is what this looked like before. It was in pretty rough shape, really ugly looking. And then it just changes the whole look of the backyard. So if you're looking for a concrete paint, this Mapai Mape Coat Deck T is really, really good stuff. And you know, it's a fairly new product. Some of the older products that we've used, they've gone out of business. They've stopped making them anymore, so you can't even get them. So we've been looking for a new supplier, and Mapai is the one that has, you know, come up with a really, really good product for just about anybody to use. You can see, you remember what this looked like in the beginning, really old and worn looking. They wanted like a beige, a really light tan look for their backyard, and this is what it ended up looking like right here. Can't really ask for it to look much better. You know, that's a 10-year-old pool deck. This was about 10 years old right here. Just a lot of mold and mildew. Pressure wash here and 2 coats. That's all it took on this one. The concrete was in really nice shape. And it just, it brought the whole concrete deck back to looking brand new again. Multiple jobs we've done like this. Tiny little entryway, few little cracks in it. Clean it, fix the cracks with a little Bondo, 2 coats of paint, brand new again. Again, this pool deck here was in really rough shape, as you saw in the beginning. So just, showing you some more pictures of what this stuff can do and what it can look like. And a basketball court we've done in multiple colors. Old pool deck here. Again, looks like brand new again. So a Mape Coat Deck Tee is the name of the product. And this is where you get it, New Jersey Decorative Concrete. So you just call those guys, tell them what you need, what you want, how much square footage you have, and they'll help you out on it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.